Guys, the United Kingdom has issued an advisory to its citizens, and here is it. It says, UK issues fresh travel warning over worsening insecurity in Nigeria, lists 20 states as unsafe. The United Kingdom is saying more than half of Nigeria is unsafe for its citizens. So guys, there is no leadership in this country. Anyway, let's move down to the United States. Like we all know, Trump is winning the support of many senators and House of congressmen. You know, they are supporting Trump decision to strike terrorists in Nigeria. Like, this is coming from Gary Palmer, and it says the targeted killing of Christians in Nigeria is not just persecution, it is a violation of human rights that borders on genocide. The United Nations failure to intervene has allowed this to continue for far too long. Thankfully, President Trump is not allowing the United States to turn a blind eye. I am proud to stand with our brothers and sisters in Christ by co-sponsoring Rep. Raymond's resolution to condemn these violations. So you know that Trump has ordered Raymond to come up with all the nitty-gritties needed in all this, and this House of Rep member, this congressman, is saying he's going to sponsor, is it a bill or whatever, he's ready to co-sponsor whatever Rep Raymond is going to be coming up with. So guys, this is also coming after an Alabama congressman also said he's going to support Trump. Like you can see, this is a senator from Alabama, Tuberville, and he said he would support U.S. troops going into Nigeria. He wants the troops to be on ground. And now from the from the U.S. again, we have a congressman called Robert Adderholt. He posted on his website saying, House Value Action Team commends President Trump's leadership and calls for end of Christian persecution in Nigeria. Also, we have from this U.S. government website here saying, condemning the persecution of Christians in Nigeria and standing ready to support Donald Trump, President Donald J. Trump, in taking decisive action to end the existential threats that persecuted Christians face in Nigeria. So guys, I must tell you that the US is all out for Nigeria. The only thing is that Trump has given Tinubu time and say, end the menace or I come in and end it for you. And the coming weeks, we are going to be seeing what the United States has got to tell Nigeria. Should the Tinubu's government keep dilly-dallying? Because many people are saying Tinubu is busy meeting the Sultan of Sokoto, meeting the Bishop of Abuja, that these are not the right people to meet. Tinubu is supposed to be going to those villages, like the recent attacks that have happened after Trump issued this order. These bad guys went and began to kill people as if there's no tomorrow. Tinubu is supposed to have gone to these places to meet with them and tell and make sure that, you know, he gives them the right warning. Anyway, guys, let me allow you to take a look at this video from TVC analysts that have spoken to all this. Take your time, watch this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now take a look.
The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, that's RCCG, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, urged President Bola Tinubu to act swiftly, wisely, and diplomatically in addressing the growing concerns about the alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria, that he should find a way to convince the President Trump to delay his actions for about 100 days, and then come home and tell our security chiefs to get rid of these terrorists within 90 days or resign. Mikio, is this suggesting, is the General Overseer suggesting that America would make real a threat?
Then nobody at this stage can say with finality that this is what Trump will eventually do. Because in Trump, you are dealing with an unusual kind of president. Somebody who changed the Ministry of Defense to Ministry of War. Have you ever seen a president call the Defense Ministry Ministry of War? So Trump is not your usual usual regular Joe whom you can predict his actions, and he's been talking about this for more than 8 years. At least 8 years he's been talking about this. So he's kind of fixated on that matter. He believes that those statistics that indicated that terrorism-related deaths in Nigeria are more than 80% of I mean, the terrorism-related deaths linked to Christians. Some statistics that Trump got indicate that more than 80% of those deaths happened in Nigeria. So he believes those statistics, and he's the sort of person that once he believes in something, it's difficult to convince. So he's convinced himself that Christians are being mindlessly killed. Remember, he confronted former President Buhari on this same matter when Buhari visited him in the US. So the next few days, I expect the Nigerian authorities to continue their diplomatic push for a resolution of this matter through the diplomatic back channels that they've been using. Somebody even told me that our president spoken with another prominent president to try and reach Donald Trump on his behalf. I don't know how far this is true, but I don't even think it's a bad idea. The president has spoken to another president of a big nation to talk to Trump on his behalf and try to explain these things. So, but let's not rule anything out. Let's not tell us that, he will not bomb any part of Nigeria. He's not at war with Nigeria. He's at war. He wants to go to war with the bandits, with the terrorists, killing people in our country, killing, in his words, Christians in our country. And we hear that the War Department is they've identified sites where they can drop bombs and all that. So it all depends. If he makes up his mind that they should do it, then there will be some limited strikes carried out in some of those flashpoints. But what we are saying is that if he wants to do that, he should do it in partnership with Nigerian Armed Forces, not to unilaterally come into a sovereign nation and be dropping bombs. It came into Pakistan is an ally of the US, but they went into Pakistan and took out Osama bin Laden without telling the Pakistani authorities. So Pakistan is a nuclear power. If they can go to that extent with a nuclear power, I can understand how Pastor Adeboye is feeling that, look, they can come here. No one should rule that out. And I think that it makes no sense to rule out the possibility of airstrikes being conducted in our country by Donald Trump. But what we are saying is we are a sovereign nation. America can offer us support to exterminate these non-state actors who are killing our people, but America should not unilaterally carry this out. For example, if they unilaterally carry out this kind of airstrikes and it kills innocent people here, just as it happened when they attacked Libya in the 90s, when they attacked Libya. Remember, they killed innocent people died in the process. So that's why Pastor Adeboye is saying, look, continue to pursue diplomacy, and he's saying move fast, move diplomatically, move wisely. We must take note of the fact that if America should attack us, China is not coming to defend us. Russia will not come to defend us. All the so-called world leaders will talk. They will condemn what America has done in the strongest terms. That's all they will do. Britain is not going to come and help us. No other foreign power will come to our aid. And he said, this is not a time to argue. It's not to say people are dying. I agree absolutely. about the way on this. Even during journalist hangout yesterday and the day before yesterday, I still made the point that arguing that, oh, more Muslims have been killed or more Christians have been killed in a nation where terrorists and bandits are killing people recklessly the way they are doing makes no sense. We have to unite as a nation. We must admit that we have a big problem that our leaders have failed woefully to address over the years. Killing people, more than 200 people in one day, on Christmas Day in Plateau State 2 years ago. And after that, they've launched other attacks in that state. Such mass killing of people should not be happening. I don't know anywhere else in the world where people will just be killing innocent people the way they kill them in Nigeria. But in spite of that, I cannot support a foreign forces coming into our country to drop bombs here and there. No. What I will support is for us to find a way to work with those countries that are prepared to help us to defeat terror, not to unilaterally come and drop bombs. It humiliates us as a country, a sovereign nation, for another country to come and just drop bombs here and there in our country. And it's happening in the past when America got involved in the crisis in Somalia. The insurgents eventually dropped a Black Hawk military helicopter of the US. It landed in enemy territory and the pilot was dragged through the streets. So sometimes when America gets directly involved in conflicts in other nations, they get their fingers burnt. We are not saying, oh, that will happen in Nigeria, but we are saying that America should not unilaterally come into our country. If they are going to launch attacks on bandits, on terrorists in our country, it should be with the collaboration with Nigerian armed forces. That's what I would welcome. For example, if America will go to Timbuktu Triangle now, where we have a fake population of ISWAP, that has been their strong base for years, and we've not been able to flush them out of the place. If they will go to such a place, drop bombs, wipe those boys out, I will be happy. I will be happy to see them work together. The same way they got the support of the Nigerian army when they launched that audacious raid to rescue their citizens who was kidnapped out of cooperation, So, but to unilaterally come to our country, drop bombs. I don't want to see them come and drop bombs unilaterally on our country. I don't want to see that at all. Absolutely.
Especially with those who are already saying that America is seeking for a base, in somewhere in the Niger Delta, saying that is that where we have the terrorists. People are already coming up with different conspiracy theory that they are not interested in the Christian faith, really, or the Christian people, because if they do, why didn't they give them give some of the Christians who are applying for visa, that visa, make it easy for them to come in. They're also bombing Venezuela. In fact, it was also established that the boats that were bombed, those people, those casualties were fishermen who were fishing, but Trump claimed that they were drug pushers and they're also pushing to enter the United States of America. Just as you said, that America usually gets their fingers burnt, but at the end of the day, what they do is to apologize, say, yeah, we are sorry, we made a mistake. But let me quickly take two comments before I ask the last question. Olumide Adeyemi says, Pastor Adeboye is right on the money. Give those service chiefs 90 days or bust. Trump's threats are a wake-up call. We have inherited this mess from Buhari, and fake speeches like all is well aren't helping. Zainab Yusuf says, against this hardline, rushing in with ultimatum ignores poverty, fueling terror since 2008. Trump is meddling. That's a sovereignty violation under UN rules. Remember Sahel ops backfiring, more civilian deaths incoming. I agree with BKO. Tunde Oguleye says, Adeboye's family tied to Tinubu adds weight, calling out bad advisors and that misleading IDP return claim is bold. Hawa Mohammed says, challenges galore, identifying sponsors without witch hunts, legally tricky under our anti-terror act, relatable to Borno farmers paying bandits just to survive. Diplomacy with Trump might help, but Russia just talk. And let me take this comment. All right, no significant comment here. So, BKO, Pastor Adeboye said that he almost spoke last month rather, when he had the speech of President Bola Tinubu saying that all is well now, that displaced people have returned to their villages. He said the one who wrote that speech does not like the president. He said somebody wrote it, but it was the president who read it. And he's also said there are several people around Tinubu who are not telling him the truth. BKO, do you also believe the narrative that sometimes those who brief Mr. President don't always give him the accurate information?
Of course, we've seen them make mistakes in the past, schoolboy errors, that look at the matter, who knows what he's doing, will not advise the president to pardon drug pushers, has to walk free. And some people sat down and wrote that kind of advice, given to the president, bad advice given to the president. Agreed. Even in there.
Right, I'm afraid we lost connectivity with Babajide Kolade, who told you, gets a network halava, doing his own thing there. Hopefully he's able to rejoin. I think he's back. BK, we lost you. I said we lost a bit of your contribution in just the last part of what you said.
Yes, I said there's nothing that Baba Adeboye said that I disagree with. The service chiefs must be given the marching orders to exterminate the enemies of the Nigerian state. They need to work with a KPI, and if they are unable to deliver, they should be asked to go.
That's beautiful. Let me see if I can take one more comment. I think we are actually out of time.
Until we find those chiefs who will not deliver the goods.
Awesome. Shegun Babalola says, for the demand echoes US post 9/11 resolve, Adeboye's push could finally protect villages like Owo after the 2022 attack. While historically, external pressure like in Chibok didn't fix much. We need homegrown fixes. Amina Sani says, opposing US strikes, it's neocolonialism. Like 1980s or 1960s meddling, Adeboye's 90-day call is good intent, but poverty is the root. BK, your final thoughts as we coast to Anambra. You've actually given your analysis of Anambra. You've made your prognosis, and then we believe that based on the indices of what we saw. But looking at the Labour Party's presidential candidates, according to reports from the grapevine, that it lost its polling unit to not even APGA, but to the APC. What does this say about his strength? Because it was in the news when he landed. He made a landfall in Anambra with his entourage, to support to garner support for the Labour Party candidate. What does this say about his own strength in his own base?
When it comes to national election, in the last few years, when it comes to national election in Anambra State, Peter Obi is a lion, is a tiger. But when it comes to state elections, election has to do with just in the last, despite the fact that Soludo opposed him in the presidential election, he couldn't make Soludo pay by winning the House of Assembly elections in that state. So Soludo has always defeated him when it comes to their domestic elections there. So that's what we have seen again today. Even Uche Ekunife also lost So that's what we've been seeing.
Well, interesting development. We'll keep monitoring events as they continue to emerge. Hopefully, we'll watch you tonight, on TVC News, for your in-depth analysis on the Anambra election. That's our show for today's edition of Issues with Jide. Special thanks to you, Baba Jide Kolade Tutoji, for those insightful analysis as always. Well, and thanks to you to our audience.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. Honestly, what is going on in Nigeria is unbelievable. I mean, you can't believe all the things going on in Nigeria because we have leaders who have decided to just do what is in their mind. Politics, they play with politics, with human lives, with human blood. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to know what is happening to an average Nigerian. This is really so sad to see that Nigeria is just going down in the eyes of the so-called leaders, because we live in a country where elections don't count. Had it been elections count, tell me why Tinubu will not be panicking if he's going to be re-elected. Tell me why Akpabio will not be panicking if he's going to be re-elected. Tell me why all the senators in Nigeria should not be bothered if they will ever be re-elected. But because we live in a country where, look at they just concluded election in Anambra State. We saw people writing exam. This is a test for the new INEC chairman. He told us he's going to prove himself in Anambra. He has already started with failure. I expected him to have issued strong warning to the people working in INEC that if any video ever circulated on the social media in the name of rigging, that they will be held, they will be held responsible. Honestly, that is what we are saying. Now, Soludo thinks he has won. He has not won. He just rigged the election, honestly, because we cannot continue like this. We can't. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at some of the reactions coming from Nigerians. This person spoke about Deborah, who was spied in Nigeria. And how those that spied him, the video has been circulating, Deborah, a proof of persecution. This is it. How those that spied Deborah were rejoicing and they were happy that they've done the worst. So this person tweeted and said, "Dear Mr. Donald Trump, in 2022, 19-year-old Deborah Samuel Christian was publicly paraded, stoned and burned to death in Sokoto by young Muslim men because they proclaim her Christian faith in a Muslim WhatsApp. Because she proclaimed her Christian faith in a Muslim WhatsApp group. She was somebody's daughter, sister, auntie, and friend. Oh my God. She was a 200-level home economics student in Shehu Shagari College of Education. Some of her killers were arrested but acquitted after a short while. Till today, they all walk free. The horrendous video of her brutal murder on this app. Honestly, this is Deborah. How she was just spied without any mercy, So guys, a whole lot is happening in this country. This person said, also, Mr. President, these innocent souls were spied in Anambra. Here, her only crime is she's a Muslim. You see, they are just talking their own. The problem with Muslims are they don't want to admit to the problem, They don't want to admit to the problem. They don't want to admit to the problem on ground and call a spade so that we know where to start solving this problem. We all need to collectively call for the ban of Sharia law in Nigeria because the law seems to be affecting Christians mostly, honestly. Hope you are resting and hopefully it wasn't all in vain. Ryan Ward has no heel. One way or the other, life can't go on this way. And this is how can you call a school WhatsApp group a Muslim group? Can you read what you just wrote? This person say, correct your statement. Statement of Muslim WhatsApp group. It was a school WhatsApp group, not a Muslim. Okay. If you destroy Christianity, God will destroy you too. It is clear in the Bible. May he maybe he will use Trump's hand to destroy them. Harming a Christian brings God's word. Sin like this will never go unpunished. To immediately anyway, Nigerians are reacting, but see, we all should be worried about what's happening in Nigeria today. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.